Hello everyone. So I'm a PhD student and I will present my PhD project and preliminary results entitled In Search of Quina lithic Production in Southeastern France, Technical and Cultural Status and Significance, directed by Sophie Grégoire and Laurence Bourguignon. So first of all, what is the Quina technical system? The Quina technical system is is a part of or characterizes some Mousterian lithic industry dating from the Middle Paleolithic in order to Homo neanderthalensis. Oh, why is it not passing? Okay. It was defined after the lithic industry of the Quina site during 50s and redefined as a technical system in the 90s. So it is characterized by several elements as a ramified chain operatoire, including a specific débitage and the confection of typical tools, Quina scrapers, that are retouched by a developed retouch process. Furthermore, it is also assumed now that this system enables or is correlated with high mobility of human groups, transporting Quina tools and using them as a support of production. In France, three geographical areas are identified attesting its presence, and one of them is known as the Rhodanian or Mediterranean area in southeastern France that shows assemblages with an atypical Quina production. So whereas several Quina assemblages have been restudied and reevaluated in recent years, especially by the impulse of ERC Quina World, our knowledge of atypical Quina production in southeast area is still incomplete. And so the particularity of this area, it's sites with Levallois and or discoid production that predominates with minor Quina production, and tools are often with half Quina retouch, thinning or bifacial features. So therefore, the aim of this PhD project is to characterize the typical Quina of the Mediterranean area and to clarify its status in relation to other areas. It also aims to clarify the functional potential of Quina tools and the role of Quina production within these mixed lithic assemblages from southeastern France. So the study corpus comprises lithic assemblages dating from IMAES 3 to 4, from 4 archaeological sites of this area, so the Creuset Cave, the Bruges site, the La Roquette site, and La Roquette site. In order to analyze the entire Quina production chain, alongside other lithic production coexisting, a petrotechno-economic approach is applied to identify and distinguish the different production patterns by raw material. A technomorpho-functional approach is also conducted to clarify the variability and functionality of Quina tools in relation to other tools. And a spatial analysis will complete petrotechno-economic approach only for Creuset and La Roquette sites to approximate the spatial distribution of activities carried out. So today I will present preliminary results for the Bruges site and the Creuset Cave. So it will be mostly petrotechno-economic approach results, as the technomorpho-functional approach and the spatial analysis are still in progress. So first we will begin by the Bruges site, as a truncated rock shelter in Quartzite Quarry, excavated in 1978. So the layer that we study is dated to 63 Ka. Oh, sorry, a bit too quickly. So different types of raw material are present, but is mostly dominated by siliceous raw material, and 7 groups of silicites will distinguish. So Cenomanian shells that are local, Oligocene flints that are also local, and Bedouin flints that are more distant. Also, in the undetermined groups, one group is potentially with distant origin also. The most part of the assemblage is done on the local raw materials, but 2 Quina tools are made of flint from potential distant origin. The layer 4 is represented by more than 7,000 pieces, and the flakes are dominant in this assemblage, and the production is mainly recurrent centimeter on unipolar Levallois débitage, and there is no Quina débitage present in the site. The nuclei are often exhausted and retouched, and so we could ask if it's an functional need or it's an answer to scarcity raw material. Sorry, the slides are passing slowly. Only 6% of the production was retouched, and it's majority of scrapers done on a majority of elongated flakes by simple or thin retouch, and there is only 2 Quina tools present in the assemblage, a very rare Quina retouch flakes. So now I will present quick results for the Creuset Cave. So for the Creuset Caves, the raw materials are well known and identified, and they present a large diversity of raw materials. And they are mostly local or semi-local flints, as Miocene flints and Oligocene flints, but quartz and quartzite are also well represented. And there is scarce presence of Bedouin flint that we also identified in Brugas site. So most part of the assemblage is done on the Miocene and Oligocene flints for all the débitage. So the layer 7 is represented by more than 4,000 pieces. And here also the nuclei are not well represented as in Brugas site, and they're also really reduced and recycled. The Levallois production is dominant as discoid also. And the Quina production is represented by nucleus flakes, tools, and retouch flakes also. So here also scrapers are dominant, and we have 10 Quina tools in the assemblage. So the two sites present some similar features as a dominant Levallois production and the use of local raw materials, but here for the Brugas site we have no Quina débitage, and it's also represented by, it's only so represented by 2 tools that are probably originated from distant origins after the raw materials that they made on. And they produced similar types of tools, scrapers, points, and notches. And we have on both sides a scarce presence of nuclei and that are often exhausted and reused. So after these preliminary results, we thought of a different hypothesis, so theoretical hypothesis. So we will have different case. So one case that is a coexistence of technical system within a group on a site, where each production answers to one functional need, with another case that could be explained where the minority of kineritic production could be explained by a carrying out of the part of the production. So it could be the Creuset situation. And also we can have a second case where we have a coexistence of cultural groups with different technical systems, where each group has a production that answers its functional needs. And that can be declined with another case, with an arrival of another group in transit using the Quina technical system. So it could be the Brugas case, where the Quinalytic production is minor. So those both hypotheses are highlighting the mobility of the Quina production that was already viewed. So to conclude—
1 minute, Clara, okay?
Okay, so to conclude, different diverse cases seems to exist, enabling us to form a different hypothesis about the status of the Quina production in the Quina southeastern area, and preliminary results support the hypothesis of high mobility of the Quina production. So following works will be morphofunctional analysis for the assemblages of Brugas site and the Creuset Cave, and the other site, of course. The study of La Rouquette and La Rouquette sites that we bring more information of and maybe more hypotheses, and also spatial analysis will be done. So further progress of our analysis will enable us to confirm or refute various hypotheses that we see, and we could, we could precise the characteristic of the typical Mediterranean quina and its status within the quina world. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for the organizers to letting me speak at this fifth VQAP conference.